Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve, and in this episode we're going to be talking about this brand new Geprc Vapor D5 HD with the DJI O4 Pro camera system. Now the Geprc Vapor series of drones has been around for about a year now, and they offer them in a Deadcat, which is this one, Deadcat, or an X-frame, which is this one. This one is 6 inches and this one is 5 inches. The one we're going to discuss today is the 5-inch version. But if you want to see my full review on this, the 6-inch X-frame version with the DJI O3 camera, well then that review is right here. You can check it out. I'll put links below this video. Oh, and if you're new to the FPV hobby and you don't have a clue what a Deadcat version is compared to an X-frame version, let me explain super simply. I'll put a little graphic up here as well. A Deadcat version means the arms go out to the sides so that the props are not in the frame of the camera. So it's a cinematic drone. Whereas an X-frame version is designed for freestyle. Lots of flips and everything in the air, and the props, since it's an X-frame, they actually get in the way of the camera just a little bit if you're shooting at wide angles. So people that have X-frame drones usually put an external camera on top, or they really don't film at all. And the good thing is Geprc offers this in both versions, X-frame and Deadcat. So let me flip this around and quickly tell you the specs. First off, this drone is over 250 grams and you can put massive batteries on it so it can get really heavy. But as I mentioned, it does have the DJI O4 Pro camera system up front, so that means if you're filming with this beast, you can record at 4K 120 frames per second. And it doesn't matter if your drone is doing this in the air because it does have image stabilization built in, or you can use external gyro flow. At the back here in the DJI unit, you can put a micro SD card, or if you forgot your micro SD card, it does have onboard storage. Since it is the Pro system, we have 2 antennas at the back, and these little antennas will get you over 10 kilometers of flight range, but you need a battery to fly far out and bring the drone back. Speaking of batteries, it does take a 6S battery, and the minimum battery you can use is a 1300 milliamp hour LiPo battery. That's if you want to do freestyle. But if you want to fly around and have some fun and explore and get a long flight time, then use an 1800 milliamp hour 6S LiPo battery. And in all my flights, this is pretty much the battery I used, and my flight time was pretty long. I had over 6 minutes of flight time using this battery. Now, flight times can be up to 20 minutes in length, which means you have to use a larger battery. So here's another battery that fits perfect. This is a 2200 milliamp hour 6S. And finally, if you want to get, as I mentioned, something like 20 minutes of flight time, you're going to have to use a larger battery. Like this is a 3200 milliamp hour LiPo battery. You could probably go up to 4000, but it will fly with this, no problem. So let me just show you. Here's the drone. This is a 3200. You can see it fits on top, and you still have plenty of space left over, and it will lift this, no problem. As I mentioned, you can fly this easily with a 4000 milliamp hour LiPo battery or even higher. Now you probably noticed the big cable on top. That's your XT60 cable to plug into your battery. The reason it's so long is because the larger the battery you place up top, the longer the cable's going to be to attach to this, so you have your cable running out this way and back over to this way. Now for receivers, you can get ELRS, you can get Crossfire, and you can get DJI plug and play if you want to fly with the DJI FPV Remote 2 or 3. Just make sure that you do get DJI plug and play if you want to fly with those. On the rear, there's a spot for a GPS. Mine did not come with one, but it is optional. You can get an M10 GPS if you want to fly with a GPS Rescue. The flight controller in this is very advanced. It's an F7 version 2. The brushless motors are 2207E at 1960 kV. And the props are 5-inch props because it is not the 6-inch version. If you want the 6-inch version, it's on the website and you can get it, but I have the 5-inch version, so I have 5-inch props, and they are Gemfan. Now in most modern day FPV drones, there's a finder beeper inside, so you turn on the beeper. If you lose the drone, you can't find it. You just flick a switch on your remote and the beeper will go off. This one has a low battery or a low voltage beeper on it. So if you're flying and you hear beep, beep, beep coming from this in the sky, it means your battery is getting low, so you might want to land. My favorite feature on this new version of the Vapor would be the side panels. They are see-through, so if you're out in the sun and you look at them, they glow. You can look through the sides, but they also give you a second pair in the kit. You get 2 black ones, just in case you don't like orange. But for me, flying in all the snow, landing in the snow, those side panels are bonus. Oh, and I should also mention that this Vapor has a built-in barometer, and you're going, why would you have a barometer in an FPV drone? Well, it's just there to give you feedback when you're flying. So you might be able to see it here in my goggles. As I'm flying, I can see the altitude. The altitude is shown, and it's done by the barometer. So now we're at the part of the video where I would normally show you my indoor flight, but I would be a maniac if I flew this indoors, and my wife would kill me because there's no prop guards and it's massively powerful, and I would just chew right through the wall. So I don't have any indoor flights. However, I have an outdoor flight on a super freezing cold day. All my flights are freezing because it is Canada and it is the dead of winter here. So check out my outdoor flight, then I'll show you the unboxing, what comes in the box when you buy this, then back to me and I'll give you my positives and negatives about this beast. So check this out. Outdoors. Pretty darn cold, but we're going to take the Vapor for a flight. Now, to keep the Vapor warm so it doesn't freeze up in the temperatures that are outside here, I have it sitting on my vent in the Jeep, so it's getting nice and toasty warm, and I'll pull it out before we go fly. In addition, if I get back here, you probably can't see it, but in my pockets I have the batteries to keep them toasty warm. I have the DJI plug-and-play version of the Vapor, so there's no receiver in it other than the DJI receiver, so that means I can use the DJI FPV Remote 3. I'm not a fan of this remote, especially when it's cold out, because the joysticks are so tiny, it feels like a toy in my hands, but I will get over it. And of course, since it is the DJI 04 Pro system in the drone, well, I'm going to use my spectacular DJI Goggles 3 Digital. All right, let's go fly. All right, got our drone, got the goggles, the sun's behind me, I look like a big shadow. I don't know if this camera picks it up, but this is an 1800 milliamp hour 6S LiPo battery. There we go. Plugged in, ready to go. Gloves off, which I don't like doing, but it should be all right. Hopefully you can see me here because the sun is directly behind me, so I might just look like one big shadow. Okay, this will be the maiden flight. Let's put in acro mode. Lots of snow flying, missed the trees that were overhead. I can't do a long flight because obviously my fingers are going to be frozen. Just flying out. I remember when I flew the Vapor 6-inch, it was very fast. So this one here, I'm assuming it's pretty fast too. I'm taking it very slow right now. And let's see, we'll just come back to me. Past these trees. And you can see me over there. All right. See if I can find an opening between the trees to go over me. Let's see. Oh yeah, big hole. Coming through. I'll go on the side here. There we are. Whoa, right past me. Okay, so now we're over the parking lot. We do have the city buses over here, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to face this way. There's nobody below. I'll just do a few little slow twirls in the air, nothing exciting, just to see it does it, because it is a freestyle drone, so people much better than me can do freestyle in it, but it's super cold right now, so I am not doing that. So just checking out the range. It's pretty good. Go fly over by the school here. Nicely done. Coming down. And we're going to come back over to me, which is back this way. Over the water. And then back over this way. Go down between the trees. Up over the goalposts. And there I am over there. And I'm hardly giving it any throttle. Cruising very nicely, and the battery's doing well as well. Yeah, so it's good. Here, I'll come back towards me and I'll give it a lot of throttle. I'm going to burn up the battery. I can see already it's doing a low battery, but there we go. It's pretty fast. You can hear it screaming. So for somebody like me, a drone like this is more an exploration type drone. One thing I noticed on this drone is that every time I get a low battery on the screen, the drone beeps. All right, let's follow this trail down here, which is going to take us out to my river. And that's where people are ice fishing, but right now it's much too cold, so nobody's out ice fishing. Look at this, it's just barren. Barren, 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 following this trail. You can see the holes where they were ice fishing over here. I see a few. So down here, you can see where the snow's pushed away. Wow, there's another one over here, right there. And over here, we've had snowfalls, so it's covering everything, but I wouldn't step on those because you'll probably fall through the ice. Yeah, not the greatest. And we go back this way. Actually, let's not go through the trees. Let's go up and over because my fingers are kind of frozen here. So this is what my beach looks like, and it is barren. It's much too cold today for anybody to be out here. And out there, that is the Ottawa River. And yeah, look at it. From up here, you could just see pieces of ice where snow's been blown off the ice. Wow. And look away out, and you go right down to the city out there. All right, let's come on back. Ooh, my fingers are cold. Dive down. Here, let's go over here to the coast. The coastline, as we call it here, even though it is only a river. There's our coastline coming out. That's where the beach meets the water. It's where people hang out on the pier. Call this a pier. It's so tiny, it's not anything. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. As far as you can see is just ice, 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 ice. Craziness. All right. Let's come on back to me. Okay, to get back to me, let's follow this trail back. So with my frozen fingers, I can barely feel the tips. It's a little hard to fly because of that. It does fly very, very well. It's very easy to manage and maneuver. I'm gonna drop it down right here. I hit the landing pad, but I also hit the leg of my camera. There, let's back up this camera and you can see how close it came. Look at that. It smashed right into the leg of this camera I'm holding in my hand. Oh, one of the other things that's pretty cool on this, the battery grip that comes on here, I tell you, it's got like suction on it. Look, you cannot get that battery off, and I've taken the battery straps off. Watch this, I have to yank the battery off. It still won't come off. It's gonna pull the battery apart. So you could fly this without even putting the battery straps on there. I got it off. I have another battery over here. I have a little GPS unit here. I don't know if it's gonna work well. I haven't used it in a long time. I'll power it on. It's got to get the satellites. I'll just strap it in with the battery. So the plan is I'll fly this really fast, up and down 1 or 2 times, land it, check the speed. All right, so here we go, speed test. Gotta watch out for the tree above me every time I take off. It takes off really quick. Okay, so this is not going to last very long in battery power, so let's just gun it a little bit here. Let the battery calm down a little bit, and then here we go again. All right, baby, let's bring it back and check out the speed. I'm sure I could probably do faster than I just did, but that's the best I could do. I would have to re-angle the camera. I don't have the camera at the proper angle for super high speed, but this is going to give us a good example of what the speed is on this thing. And we'll come down, get in the camera, slow it down here. Try not to hit my camera this time. So I land on the side, in the snow. There we go. Let's put you over here. All right, let's carefully take this off so I don't mess up the speed. It says 145.07 kilometers per hour. So that's pretty fast. It's not bad. And I'm pretty sure I can go even faster. And you could especially go faster if you use a smaller, lighter battery. I was using an 1800 6S, so if you use something like a 1500 or even a 1000, you'll go super fast. Now, as you can see, I've got snow all over this beast. Good thing is these side panels keep the snow out from inside, which is good for guys like me who fly out here in the winter. Here's my little quad, and I have a 2200 milliamp hour LiPo battery. Now with a heavy battery, it is going to make more noise than if I had a light battery on it. But let's put it down here and let me hover it. So there's how loud it is with a heavy battery. So with a lighter battery, it's going to be less noisy. All right, let's bring it down and land it down here. There we go. Here we have the box the Vapor arrives in. Inside the box you'll find the Vapor and accessories. Here you can see the specifications of the Vapor I used in this review video. The Vapor does arrive with many helpful notifications that are of benefit to first-time FPV pilots. The only item you need to install on the Vapor would be the props. One very nice touch is the DJI O4 Pro camera is protected by aluminum on either side. I have the Deadcat version of the Vapor, but you can also get it in the X-frame. The removable side panels allow full access to the flight controller and internal components. The weight of the Vapor before adding a battery is 459 grams. Other items included in the box include a spare set of props, one extra battery strap, and one extra battery grip. If you wish to attach an external camera, an external camera mount is included. Various tools are also included, as well as many additional screws. The DJI Camera O4 Pro documentation is included, as well as documentation concerning the flight controller, and you also receive a quick start guide, as well as support cards, a Geprc keychain, and finally Geprc stickers. Alright, so you're back to me, and a lot of you want to know, because you're probably still confused if you come from the DJI world, maybe I want to fly with this remote, the FPV Remote 2 or the FPV Remote 3. Is it compatible? Well, it is, but you have to buy the DJI plug and play version. When you go to order it, it says, what receiver do you want? Pick plug and play. As a matter of fact, look below here. I've put a little document from DJI that shows exactly what is compatible with this drone for the remotes as well as the digital goggles. So if what you see below are items you already own, then yes, all of the items you already own are compatible with this drone. So now let me give you my positives. First thing would be the side panels. This is new for 2025. They didn't have side panels in 2024, so these side panels that are removable are very nice. And for me, a guy who flies in the Canadian winter, landing in snow, they are beautiful. Next positive is the frame does come in a Deadcat frame, which is this one, and also an X frame. If you love freestyle, get the X frame. If you love to film, get the Deadcat. Next positive is that for a 5-inch quad, you can put a massively large battery on it. It will fly with it, no problem, and you can explore your entire world for up to 20 minutes of flight in most cases. Another positive, I do like that it has the low voltage beeper, because a lot of times I'm looking at my goggles and I'm not paying attention to the voltage, and then I hear beep, beep, beep as it's flying. Then I know, oh, the battery's getting low. I better land before it falls out of the sky. Now, the only negative I have is that this drone looks so beautiful, and a lot of newbies and rookies will look at this and want to buy it. But I will say right now, if you're a rookie, if you're a newbie to the FPV world, you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else with a drone like this, because it's extremely powerful. And the second thing is, since it's so powerful, it sounds like death from above when you're going fast, so it just scares the crap out of people. This is not a quiet quad. So yeah, that's the only two negatives, very minor. So with all that said, I am going to put links to this beast below. Go check it out. You can find it on BANGGOOD and the Geprc website, and probably a few other websites. I'll put all the links below. You can go find the place with the best price. And I say, if you have questions on this beast, post your questions below. I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see many more cool product reviews of helicopters, planes, drones, and maybe other weird stuff, well then subscribe to this channel. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video. Bye!
Captain Drone, he's got the flight in the cold and in the night. Takes to skies with endless flare. Winter